Thank you for joining me for my first ever video log. Today we're going to be talking about contentment. Joseph Addison says, "A contented mind is the greatest blessing a man can enjoy in this world." I tend to agree. It is a great blessing. However, so often we don't really know what contentment looks like. We have a faulty definition of what it is, and so rather than being a gift, it becomes a curse because we're striving after something that we don't really know how to attain or what it is. We have a faulty definition and we go after that false belief, and the gift becomes a curse. So today we're going to be looking at one of the faulty definitions, a perception or misconception that many of us hold about contentment. And then on Friday we're going to be looking at a more accurate definition and picture of what contentment really is. Because it's not until we truly understand what contentment looks like that we're ever going to be capable of embracing it. So in order to understand, we're going to start with our faulty definition. So picture with me the classic story of girl meets boy. Man, actually. She'd been watching him for quite some time at work, amazed at the way that when everybody else got caught up in the gossip, he would just remove himself. Or when everyone just did the bare minimum and they just did what the bottom line of what they had to do to turn in, he would always do his work with excellence. Well, you could say she was quite smitten, especially when they had their little encounters in the break room or whatever, and that time always just went too fast. Well, one Monday morning, he came up to her cubicle and asked if she wanted to go out on a date. Did she ever? She couldn't just scream right there. That probably wouldn't be so tactful, so she tried to show some self-control and said, "I would love to." Well, she got home from work that day, and she went and she pulled out that little black dress that was sitting in the very back of her closet. Well, let's admit it, it had been there for a little too long, longer than she cared to admit. So she figured she should try it on just to make sure it still fit. So she pulled it out and wiggled herself in, took a deep breath and it was just no use. The zipper wouldn't zip. Well, this girl was on a mission. She was bound and determined to make sure that the dress fit, and it fit by Friday. So she did everything in her power to lose a little bit of weight. She hit the gym before work. She was doing exercise videos afterwards. She hardly ate a thing all week long. Friday afternoon came. She got home from work and she pulled out that dress again, much more apprehensive this time. She put it on and took a deep, deep, deep breath and sweet success. It fit. Well, she finished getting ready and before long her date came and picked her up. He drove them to a restaurant and he opened up the door for her and she was greeted by the most aromatic smells of hot buttered bread, roasted chicken and vegetables. She was weak in the knees as she looked at all the food as they walked to their table, scanning what everybody else had on their tables, trying to decide what she was going to order. They sat down and she started flipping through the menu and she decided she wanted a steak. This poor girl was so hungry she had barely eaten all week long. So she's trying to decide what size steak to order when suddenly it hits her. There's not enough room in that dress for her and a steak. So when the waiter comes, she musters her most enthusiastic, albeit fake voice. And she says, "I'll have a salad." You've been there, right? Their dinner comes and her salad is good. But her date's steak. That sure looked tasty. You been there? Me too. Not just on a date, but in life. Psalm 23:1 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Have you ever seen an artistic rendering of Psalm 23:1? It looks beautiful and amazing. You have the nice green rolling hills, a few clouds in the horizon, and then there's the stream and a few sheep here and there. And I just go, oh, yeah, I want that. I just want to be a sheep and let the Lord take care of me and go down to the river and get some water. And it looks fabulous at first. But before I know it, I want that and that. Oh, yeah, I really want that. That sure looks good. But the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want, but I want, but I... And then the guilt ensues, and what do? And I feel like this girl on a date, drooling, or at least trying not to. Trying to pretend to be content with my salad, and I live a salad kind of a life. But yet Jesus says, I've come that they may have life and may have it more abundantly. And you can't convince me that this abundant, full life that Jesus talks about really means drooling over everyone else's steak. So what do? Join me on Friday. I'm going to post another video log talking about a more accurate perception or image of what contentment looks like. And then next week we're going to be talking about how we become content. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday.